The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Clint Eastwood. Maybe my favorite movie of all time. We used to watch that as a kid. Hide under the table, pretend like I was sleeping. My parents knew I was right in front of them, but they'd let me watch the double, like Clint Eastwood. They'd have that on Tuesdays or whatever, and loved it. So The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly for this. I thought I'd shut that out because I'm a huge fan of that. The Good, the tuning. And a company that doesn't really... Sometimes the cables for previous models didn't really work that great for me, but the tuning and the quality of the builds for Moondrop. It's one of the Moondrop, Fearless, TSMR, Tensio, Mirai, recently Thie. Those are companies that come out of ChiFi that are really good. This is one of the 4 that are my favorites right now. I've liked Moondrop for quite a while. The bad is it's for me, the treble's a little bit too elevated, and that's not bad, that's personal preference, but I got to put something to bad. The ugly would be the stem nozzle is very thick, and it makes my ears uncomfortable, and that's rare. I don't really recall that actually happening before. Some people said the TSMRs look kind of fat. Those were like tubes glued onto the body, and they didn't bother me, whereas this, because it tapers, actually does get in my way. So that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. That was a stupid idea, wasn't it? Let me just keep going. It's a single dynamic 4 balanced armature for $300. No more, no more. Better than A8000 and Luna. I did comparison with the other 2, and I would pick this set if it were in a shell that fit me better. I think that this is bright tuning done right, and beyond this is really too much to expect somebody to listen to the side of an album with, because I couldn't do that with the Luna personally with my library, and I can't do that with the A8000. I just can't. This I could, but it is emphasizing stuff in the treble. I was looking for the bass to be not enough, because when you look at a graph, you're looking at a clearly dominant treble related to the bass. So when I was listening to stuff, I was listening for bass to not quite be enough, and it was there every time. When I listened to Tupac Picture Me Rollin', the bass sounded proper. I listened to All Eyes on Me and also Ambitions as a Rider, the bass sounded proper. Michael Jackson, the bass sounded proper. The 4-string and the solo with the drummer and Sweet Leaf sounded proper. So a deck mixed bass hit or a 4-string, they sounded fine. The treble showed itself in something like No More, No More, with the cymbal strike was slightly tizzy. Like the high point of its life and death is a little bit too high for me, my personal taste. More notable than that, actually, is while I'm focusing on the bass not being enough and listening to the 4-string bass guitar in the track, I noticed that the backing vocals that are repeating the phrase "no more, no more" were like front and center of the replay. I don't ever recall that happening before. It wasn't offensive or bad. It was notable, though, because I was listening for bass, and I was thinking, God, they're coming through really clear. And then Steven Tyler's coming through real clear, and he actually sounds usually slightly... So the vocals are clearly up on you. Not bad, but it's definitely got to be something that you're aware of before you would buy it. If you want emphasized treble because you prefer that, these will be good for you. If you want it because you're older and you got age-related hearing loss, this might be something you'd be interested in. I'm not making a gag either. I like this set. I think it's good. It's the stem that bothers me. And the treble, that's, to library. I think if you listen to classical, where I don't know, I'm reaching right now because I don't really listen to classical that much. Verdi, Vivaldi, the Italians, and the Tchaikovsky, the Russian, those 3 I listen to a lot of pieces that they did. I like the waltzes by Tchaikovsky because they're up and they're energetic, and I kind of like that. Powerful and big and huge, but I don't really listen to that much. Would this be good for that? I don't know. With my library, if you're focusing and tripping on cymbals, it might not do it for you, but that's a really small group of people, so I wouldn't rec for that group of people. The biggest concern that I would have would be on the nozzle. I think it's kind of fat. I know it is because it makes me uncomfortable. Not like I feel uncomfortable, it makes my ears feel uncomfortable. So, do I rec it? Yes. Considering the quality of the replay and that that it leans to the treble, it doesn't penalize the bass. The bass is not like the original Blessing where you couldn't really even I thought that was not good enough. I think they did a better job with this. It just sounds more potent and powerful. The stem, I guess that's where it's at for me. That's anatomy, and you would know if you have that problem or not. So Tupac Picture Me Rollin' sounded fine. Micro details, everything was excellent. The bass sounded great, to my surprise. I thought it was going to be a little anemic. It was not. Michael Jackson wanted to be starting something. Excellent quality master. That's the DSD version. That sounded great. I wasn't able to pick up the left channel beat, but that's a lot of stuff that can't do that. Aerosmith is when I started to get stuck in the loop, because I was like, God, the fucking chorus is like right in front of me. No more, no more. Interesting, not annoying. Some sets get on my nerves quickly. These don't. So I won't waste too much of your time. I guess that's it. One dynamic, 4 balanced armature, $300, made by a company that you really shouldn't have any issues with, and if you did, they'd take care of you. I think it's better than the 8000 and the Luna, because it's doing really the same thing. It's not using beryllium, but I got questions whether that's really a benefit in the pure version, because that's too. You guys know I'm a berry lover. I'm a berry hunter. That they just didn't do that, and they're expensive as hell. This would be something that would be better than those two. In the same vein, much more affordable, and not quite as overpowering in the treble as those other two alternatives. So, wrecked with caution. Get it if you like Moondrop and you're cool with treble. If you worry about your ear canal being sensitive, talk to other people that maybe know you better, or listen to music that you do, or have had the same issues as you, because this would legit be something to be concerned about. If it doesn't fit, you're not going to use it. You know what I mean? So this would be a set that goes to my Patreons probably next time, because I won't be using it, but it's not because I don't like the sound of it. It's just because personal fit. So that's it. You guys take care, especially now. I live in a country where, okay, I want to get into it. Moving right along. And I'm out. You guys take care.